I guess I'm gonna try to use my sense again, but since there's a familiar presence in the water, I'm gonna try to use that as like a focus while I try to scan the area around them for like
Alright.
life.
Try again.
Oh my god!
You know, you can spend a destiny dice in order to make the power work if it turns up black.
Yeah, but
Usually in the normal
But-
system you take conflict, but I don't think that's a thing in Ash's game, so yeah.
I don't know if I want to do that though. I don't know if that's worth it.
You have
Don't
to
worry
spend
about
one
it,
of
man.
your
You gotta
precious
spend them,
dice.
otherwise it's wasted.
All right, I'll spend one.
I mean, sure, it's a problem if you decide to start using too much, but that doesn't mean you should be scared to use it. I feel like it's a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if we end
Right.
the session with 5 light side points, we're kind of being stupid about.
Yeah. Well, if you
As-
think about it, that means that Ash can't fuck us over because he has no points to fuck us over.
It's a playing game. As you're heading deeper into the water, Ruben, you do spot actually quite a few of those fish, but they seem to be getting, eaten by other things. It's like they're not super dangerous, clearly, because you could see like a squid just eat one.
How big is that squid?
About half the size of Caleb.
About yay big.
I'm just gonna like use the radio and just like describing the general direction. It's like there's a big squid sucker just to your, I don't know, northwest or whatever. Be mindful.
How far does your sense go out?
Actually, one. Actually, my mistake. I don't know if it describes. It says within range, and then spin. Oh, I see. Range band equal to range. Okay, so it's not super. I'm like using the basic version of it. So
How
I guess
far is
it's it doesn't even. It says since interacting world around him, since all living things within short range. Okay, so actually not that long at all.
Okay, short range.
That's probably like, what, 20, 40 feet, something like that? Basically a turn movement.
Basically, this system, it depends on what short range is in the current environment. But yeah, you can sense that far. I was just wondering if you could sense anything beyond the wall.
No.
One day you can.
Eventually. One day. I'll think with my big brain.
I just imagine beyond the wall, there's just like 1,000 giant mutated sharks just waiting, biding their time.
And it turns out that their favorite food is people called Caleb for some reason.
However, you do sense other things in, well, this part of the water. Life, just general life everywhere. Shrimp, snails, all sorts.
It's good to see that the ocean ecology is doing well despite the chaos on the surface, I suppose.
Amazing.
If only we were fish.
Turns out the sea didn't care much.
Life finds a way.
It's a way. Exactly. Even if it is a tiny bit mutated, but otherwise it's good.
Ruben's just kind of like jokingly over the microphone. It's like, how do you think the people of Atlantis did during the cataclysm? You think they're doing good? I think they're doing good.
Fuck is Atlantis?
Oh, Logan. You telling me you never checked any of the old books they managed to preserve from hundreds of years ago? There's all kinds of legends about Atlantis.
You realize books like that are expensive, right? You fucking
Ah.
rich
Well. Yeah, no, my privilege dawned on me really hard there. My apologies.
kid. Check your privilege, man.
Caleb, You do
Yeah, I would
find
imagine there's no such thing as a public library anymore in these days.
it's more like go on to the online. There's no such thing as books. They're made out of paper. Wood is expensive. But Caleb, you do eventually find 2 of the containers that the person was talking about.
I have no idea how these actually open. Do they seem easy enough to crack open?
Well, they don't seem to have locks on them, but it's got to take a bit of strength in order to push open. I'll allow you to use your wrench to give yourself a blue dice too.
Okay.
So you would have to roll athletics.
By the way, during
Standard difficulty?
Hmm.
Standard difficulty?
Oh, difficulty would be 3, I would say. You are underwater, so it's not too difficult.
By the way, Ash, during that exchange with Ruben, I just imagined that part from Fluffy's comedy where he goes, "Oh, I'm a dick." Oh, I'm gonna link you to that later. It's hilarious.
Caleb Strunk.
Caleb is a strong boy.
You, one after the other, you just pop the levers up on the containers and force them open. The water having been just pulled in. The first one you find is, well, it's practically empty apart from, well, 3 corpses of whoever they used to be. The second, however, contains a few large crates.
I assume they're not watertight and have been completely submerged for a long time now.
Well, they are made out of, they're made out of metal. They are rusty as hell. Seawater, not very good for metal.
Yeah, true. If it seems like if they had like a watertight seal to them that may still be intact, I'm not gonna crack them open. But if they look like water has probably long since been logging into whatever was inside, I'll just crack them open.
They're rusty and you got a massive wrench, so I'm just gonna forego the check. As you pop open and you just see military food packs just float up to the top of the thing just in your face. And you turn around, pop open the next one, you can see some spare weapon parts, basically. Like, they're stuffed in there in plastic bags, however. And they float to the surface too. they just
anything that floats to the surface, I'm gonna try to like reach out and just like gently, using my brain power, gently like float them towards us so I could grab them.
By the way, yeah.
You might wanna be careful because that's probably gonna attract a lot of fish. And if a lot of fish come, eventually something big is gonna come.
You can see, as you're popping open craters, like some are rusted, junk, like old weapons that have long since dead from seawater. But as you open the final one, you find a smaller crate within. It looks like it's made out of, well, it's black for one, but you don't know what it's exactly made out of. Looks kind of
seems light enough to carry.
It is kind of heavy, but given how strong you are, I would say you can carry it.
Yeah, I'll just carry that one back out then.
Meanwhile, on the surface, you all just see this, these what appears to be metal things inside plastic bags float to the surface, and just silvery bags just start floating up and up and up. Just.
What's going on down there?
I'm finding a whole bunch of shit.
I mean, good grub doesn't go to waste.
Yeah, I mean, they are MREs. They're probably still just as terrible as they were when they were first made.
Hey, don't diss on survival food. It saved me plenty of times. Hell, I made you a decent meal last time with those.
Logan, you can see a cheeseburger one come towards you.
Holy shit! I'm diving for that. Not literally.
It's like
Into the water, ruining the rifle. The duct tape gets soggy.
Oh shit!
as you reach for a pick up, you see something reach up and grab another one beside it. Like it looks like a tendril just grabs and pulls it down.
Uh-oh.
Hungry squid.
Caleb, you can actually see the squid now. It's out in full view. You can just see it like pulling down the MRI and like trying to rip it open. It seems to understand like whatever's inside it wants.
Jesus, fuck that smart.
Does it seem remotely
that's-
hostile, or is it just hungry?
It just seems to hungry. As it's opening the thing, and you can see it just stuffing the MRE into its like beak. Just
Ruben just like, you can see Ruben just like pushing his non-existent glasses up the bridge of his nose, and he's like, you know, all kinds of old research used to be performed on squids, and they're found to be some of the most intelligent, what's the word I'm looking for?
mollusks.
They're basically the most intelligent animal on Earth that doesn't have a spine.
Yeah, mollusk.
Yeah, that's very interesting talk, but this is hardly time for your weird obsession with experimenting on species right now.
By the way, as Caleb, you come out, you hear Adam speak up saying, there is currently a bounty placed on such reserves as this. I suggest we document the location. The animals here are worth quite a bit of money.
That could be useful, but by the same token, I also kind of feel weird about letting a bunch of people come out here and fuck around with something that actually managed to survive the apocalypse.
Money is money.
While this is true, you have to understand that the survival of these species is important.
So wait, are you talking about the squid?
That is correct. While there are currently 55 species of squid currently in reserve, it would always benefit to have more squids for breeding purposes.
Are they tasty?
They are said to be rather tasty, yes. Calamari
Sample
is
them.
good.
You're into sampling stuff, right, Doc? Let's sample them.
Do their legs grow back? Are they like lizards or something? Or
There's a small species of squid that does like detach its limb in order
octopus do.
Yeah.
I don't know if squids do necessarily.
yeah, I'm asking that in character as an idiot.
Oh, okay.
Biology is not something I have spec'd into.
Ruben, I guess Ruben's just kind of speculating. It's like, well, despite how clean it is over here, the oceans have been not only influenced by Azure, but obviously animals adapt to the behavior of other animals, so who knows? Catching one straight from the wild, it could have all kinds of odd properties not found in your average squid.
By the way, at
Yeah, I
this
did
point,
find this strange case down there, and we should probably fish out some of those weapon parts too. Who knows if there's anything useful in those?
you can see that the squid is currently like moving across, its colors blending into the soft sands below as it's just slowly moving across, actually moving towards the containers you opened.
You guys do what you want. I'd rather leave it alone. I think it's cute.
Yeah, as long as it's not filled with azure, I see no reason to bother it. But God help me if it eats one of those weapon parts, I am cutting that thing open.
It seems more interested with the leftover MREs.
I'm going to
Likes fish better.
I'm gonna pass Logan one of the cheeseburger food packs that came in. It's like, eat up.
Thanks, Doc. Don't mind if I do.
You're gonna need your strength.
Are you actually gonna cook it?
Nah, it's not the time for that. I'm just gonna save it for later.
Just get some hot water.
I mean,
pour it.
don't mind me, Integra's got the right idea, but seriously, now's not the time. A bit later. We're gonna have a beach party later.
Are we, so I guess we'll try to crack open that box then?
Yeah, once I'm back out on dry land.
Alright then. So once you're in there, you have this obsidian-colored box.
It certainly
seem
looks
to have a
watertight.
latch.
Oh, so like it doesn't have even an apparent door on it?
Oh, you can see the seam where it closes, but there's no latch or handle to open it. As you
Does it look like there's any kind of key card slots or any kind of electronic access?
as you're like passing your hands over the device, you can see like on top a keypad like shimmers to life.
That thing must have been in the water for decades. That's actually really impressive.
Yeah, it's got a good battery life, if nothing else. Just to check, even though I know I didn't find anything the first time, just to check, I'm going to skim through the notes and see if there was anything about a password.
Sadly, it doesn't seem like this person mentioned a password. It's probably the other person that had that. Since he keeps mentioning that such and such is getting, like, John is collecting the items from the base.
Did it seem like this John was a military employee or another dock worker that just had a connection?
No, it's somebody inside the base. It's a soldier.
Okay, that's what I figured. I just wanted to make sure.
Ah, so you mean there's a... You think there might be a chance that whatever the access code is for this thing, it could be somewhere in the base?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'd rather not take a shot at guessing and potentially locking ourselves out of it.
Sounds good.
We can always try cracking into it later if we don't find a password, but we're going in there anyway. We may as well look for one.
Yeah, we can just store it in the car for later, see what happens.
Do we find anything useful amongst the weapon parts that we fish out of the water?
Well, there's some cleaner gauges, some barrels, there's a ammo counter, there's also a extended magazine for basically an assault rifle. There is also a couple of flashlights, I would say around about 4 attachment flashlights, and around about 5 laser pointers. Like, they're not even the attachment on the guns, they're literal laser pointers.
I will put one on my keychain.
It seems like whoever was collecting this stuff didn't exactly know what they were collecting. They were just grabbing military stuff left and right.
And then they just kind of like, while they're doing that, they hit the office by accident?
Yeah, apparently.
Can I put one of the flashlight attachments to my pistol?
Yep, that would be easy enough, since it's just a universal thing that's still being used today. Just click.
I guess I'll fish out a pistol, because I'll need an actual gun that I can shoot at robots with at some point, and I'll do the
Seriously,
same.
gotta get you a gun at some point, Doc.
I mean, he's kind of just like, I'm not trained or used with the weapon. Like, whatever you give me has to be child-proof.
How do you defend yourself without a gun? I don't understand.
I usually try to subdue people with like, you know.
You see pure confusion on Logan's face. He doesn't understand.
You know, like when you want to capture a bounty alive because it's worth more than they are dead.
Yeah, so you shoot it just a little so it doesn't die.
Yeah, it's like that, but with drugs.
That don't make a lick of sense. Logan is very confused.
I'll slap a flashlight onto my shotgun too, since I have one open spot left on it.
It's also you will have to excuse me, but it's only been recently that I've ever found myself in combat situations. This is this whole thing is new to me.
Wow, you weren't kidding when you said you were sheltered.
Yeah, well, it's I was being prepared for a life of a rich plastic surgeon, and now I'm a hideous mess that goes around fixing up whatever you can find. So, you know, it's not helping my self-confidence or anything when you point it out.
Oh, that's my bad. Don't worry about it, Doc.
And we all gotta start from somewhere.
So, what is your plan now?
Guess we'll try to get in through the waterway. We may as well use it to go in, because we're definitely, if we get what we want out of this, we're not going to be able to use it to get out.
That's
Well,
fair. You
Assuming
can
ev-
enter.
Assuming everything goes well, we won't have to leave the same way, so... Let's be positive about this.
Yep. I mean, if
Yeah.
everything goes our way, we'll be able to use a gigantic machine to just crush through the walls and make our way out the way we please.
So, if you want to get into the access, there is a small, like, crudely drawn map where it basically shows that you can get in there from a sewer entrance. Sewer
that's
level
our way
time.
in.
If it's any consolation, people haven't been using these toilets for a while.
Somehow that doesn't make me feel better, Doc. I mean, it could be worse, I guess.
Ruben's gonna like, you just see him going all out. He like stretches his rubber gloves. He like tightens his respirator, and he's like, "Okay, I mean, very unsanitary, but let's do it. I'm ready."
I like how gung-ho you are about this, Doc.
Now, let me ask you a lot of question. I could just transfer my equipment to this underwater suit and forego having the better armor and just be prepared in case I need to dip underneath the water inside the military base, or I could just swap out back to the armor.
It would be a good idea for you to at least like take the mask and the oxygenator and everything. I don't know if that's the word I'm looking for. Oxygenator.
You're a
Sounds like
scientist. You would know these things. Sure, it's an oxygenator.
Yeah, I believe you, Doc.
Look, I have an intelligence of 4. If I say it's an oxygenator, it's an oxygenator. Okay.
There you go.
Officially marked down as oxygenator. Okay.
He knows his stuff. Don't question him.
Yeah, I don't know in terms of game mechanics if the oxygen tank is removable from the armor or not. I'll leave that up to our GM.
I would say yes, since you probably have to replace it at some point.
So I'll bring that and the mask with me just in case we need to dip underwater.
But it will not provide you against any protection from the sea cold and stuff like that, because without the suit.
Yeah.
Right then, so do you enter?
Here we go. Down the rabbit hole. Down the shit hole.
Just so we're clear, by the way, Integra is refusing to go and says she will protect the cards.
Of course.
Eddie says he's allergic to
Eddie!
rats.
Just like, hey, Eddie. Oh.
Eddie just looks down. I'm allergic to rats. You guys go.
Yeah, you guys work on your 10. We'll be right back.
Now, you know, Eddie, here's the thing. If you take point and you start getting an allergic reaction, the rest of us will be alerted to the presence of rats.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh no, it's closing! And he pulls the grate over. Oh no! Then steps on it. He's like, oh no. Oh no, he walks away.
I'm
That's
sure
it.
if I, I'm sure if I thought fast enough, I could have convinced him that he's not allergic to rats.
Is this like a game now? We just try to convince Eddie about bad things. Are we the bad friend that makes you do stupid shit?
I think you are.
At some point, it is my intention to convince Eddie to jump off of a moving vehicle onto another moving vehicle.
We don't need a second Ruben. I mean, a second Caleb.
Ah, he still got it.
Shut up.
It's nothing ever changes. All right, I suppose we'll move in. Ruben will choose to either take the flank or go in the middle, depending on how you guys want to arrange it.
Is this like really tight quarters?
Pretty much, but it is at least 3 feet above your head. So while cramped, you can stand upright and move around 2 by 2.
I'm assuming there is no light source, or
There are small lights within the tunnel.
in that case, I'm gonna refrain from using the flashlight I just got attached, just in case. You never know. So
Mhm.
I'm
I
gonna.
will have my. Yeah, I'll be right up beside him with my shotgun, because if we're going around corners blindly, then the shotgun will be handy.
Right then, and I suppose you follow the map?
Yeah, for lack of any other kind of way to figure out where we are.
Ruben's like, because I assume I'm the one to freehand since I'm walking in behind with just a pistol, and I'm just like trying my best to follow the instructions and everything.
Mm-hmm. As you're moving forwards, you can hear the dripping of water, the scurrying of something in the shadows. But you are edging ever closer to your destination.
You know, if Eddie really is allergic to rats, it is probably good that he's not down here.
Just immediately dies.
I get the sense he may have been lying to us, though.
Eddie?
Call
No.
it a hunch.
How could you? Eddie's a good boy. As you're moving across, you can tell by the flickering lights that you're getting closer towards the base. It seems like its power drain on the docks has been going on for quite a while to power the defensive netting over the base. Pardon me. And soon you come to what appears to be a blocked off wall of some kind. You can see metal and stuff just piled up. The map doesn't indicate where you should go next, apart from it's basically up. Since you can see small amount of stairs.
Yeah, and Ruben just kind of shrugs, and it's like, I suppose we go up.
Up it is then.
Are there stairs, or are the stairs potentially beyond this wall of metal?
No, there are stairs. It's just the metal
Okay.
is in the way. apparently there's a way to move it. Like, perhaps it's not just one big, like, mess.
Does it seem like this was constructed post-apocalypse as a barrier, or does it seem like this just like happened during the apocalypse naturally?
It seems like this may have been given the general, well, orderliness of the mess. If you know what I mean. It's like somebody placed it like this.
And there's no indication of it on the map?
Yes, it's actually on the map.
Oh, okay. So I'm less concerned about walking into somebody's hideout now. Yeah, I'll look for any kind of handles or anything that might be able to pull this makeshift doorway around.